Carowinds has spilled the beans about their 2019 roller coaster. We knew the name, the model, and the possible layout, but Carowinds has shown us the juicy details of Copperhead Strike. This is a mock multi-LSM launch coaster that will be located in the Carolina section of their park, and it will have some very interesting theming. Compared to the Six Flags launch coasters that were recently announced, like Max Force and West Coast Racers, this thing doesn't break any records like those, but it does achieve 50 miles per hour from its second launch and 42 miles per hour from its first. Its maximum height is on an inverted top hat, and it has a track length of 3,255 feet, providing a duration of a little under 3 minutes. Copperhead Strike will have 3 trains with 16 riders per train in rows of 2 across, and that is with standard mock lap bar restraints. This will have trains that look like antique cars. Looking at your ride experience before you even get to your first launch, you have a JoJo roll. This is essentially a low-speed heartline roll, and I'm sure that it will be an awesome element with some great hang time. Then you'll navigate a right-hand turn into a shed, where you'll see a jam machine and some theming. Then you're going to hear some voice lines that correspond with a story, and then launch 42 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds. Following that, you'll face a circular vertical loop accompanied by a following corkscrew into some bank turns and airtime, and then the second launch comes in. This launch is actually on an airtime hill, and the LSM fins go up and down here, so the airtime will be superb, and it will most likely be very forceful. You'll go straight into an airtime hill, followed up by the climax of the ride, which is an inverted top hat. The hang time based on this rendering looks amazing and otherworldly. Then you will go into your second vertical loop, which looks great, into a stangle dive, some bank turns, airtime, and then your brake run. They've built a very complex story around this roller coaster just based on the teasers and the phone number on a teaser. Effectively, the wooden lumber company from Mystic Timbers at Kings Island is building a shed for Granny, who makes this award-winning jam. After navigating the Blue Mountains to try and get some of that jam, you will use a getaway vehicle, hence why the trains look like antique cars, to escape, and the coaster is the escape from the shed. So even though the ride is called Copperhead Strike and the copper scheme is modeled after that of a copperhead snake, that is not the main theme. It's similar to Yukon Striker being themed after the Klondike Gold Rush, but having a bird as its logo. I've seen a lot of people comparing this roller coaster to the likes of Maverick, Max Force, West Coast Racers, but if you ask me, those coasters are very different and completely in different leagues. Just based off of this animation, I don't think that this will be better than Maverick, Helix, or iSpeed, which are just like some of the top launch coasters, but I'm confident that this will be a top 10 launch coaster. Then again, this is just an animation, I could be entirely wrong. If I had to pick out a best roller coaster for 2019, I think I would have to go with this, just barely besting Steel Curtain and Max Force. I mean, I can totally see how somebody would prefer Max Force. It's taller, faster, plus breaks 3 major records, but I would definitely prefer the smoother ride, the longer ride, and the more intense ride, which is why I am leaning towards Copperhead Strike being the better ride. Just like I said, this is just me speculating, and I could be 100% wrong. Looking at the overview of the ride, this layout is incredibly compact. The layout pretty much nailed everything on my wish list except for one thing. I was really hoping for a low-speed 0G roll after the launch, but the JoJo roll and inverted top hat make up for it. The general consensus for this ride seems very split. Half of enthusiasts seem to love it, like I do, but the other half seems either a little disappointed or entirely underwhelmed. I wouldn't be turned off by its stats. Most of the ride is low to the ground, which will be intense, and it makes the most of its low speed, proving awesome hang time on the inversions. I've seen a couple people say that this is a family coaster. False. West Coast Racers is a family coaster, and this seems too intimidating for families between the JoJo roll and giant inversions. Plus, the height requirement is 52 inches, which is more than Cheetah Hunt and Fire Chaser Express, which are just some of your really good family launch coasters. So all in all, this coaster looks great. Will it be the best coaster or even the second best coaster at Carowinds? Probably not, but it is going to be an awesome, fun, intense ride that is a perfect fit for the park. That wraps up my thoughts on Copperhead Strike at Carowinds, but I want to hear what you think. Post your thoughts down in the comment section below, like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more. My name is Coaster Cupcake, and I'll catch you all next time. See you guys.